This is KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green. My guest today is Kate Kunau. Kate is the curator of the Cedar Rapids Museum of Art. Kate, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Always another exhibition going up, and you guys are in the midst of your fall traveling or temporary exhibitions, which
Indeed.
are one is kind of a unique theme for an art museum. Most people don't really think about architecture.
Yeah, we're
as
excited.
something that you would put up in an art museum, although I have seen things like this, but it's Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yeah, we discovered that we have this really beautiful portfolio of lithographs of Frank Lloyd Wright's early stuff from about 1893 to 1910. So just when his aesthetic was starting to become that prairie style that we associate with him, the long, low houses. There are 100 lithographs in this particular portfolio, and so I chose 19 of them, all residential spaces in the Midwest. And it really makes a nice narrative of, you can see his style evolve from a little Louis Sullivan-esque, who he was obviously working with in the late 19th century, to his own really distinctive style that we associate with him today.
And these are actual residences from all around the Midwest. Of course, there is a Frank Lloyd Wright Cedar Rock up by Quasqueton,
Which is beautiful, yeah.
Is one of those, and of course many in Chicago and Wisconsin. Where were the ones you picked? Where are those located?
Because it's early in his career, most are Oak Park, Illinois, Riverside, etc. There are a couple. One I believe is South Bend, Indiana. There's one in Racine, Wisconsin. So he was through the Midwest. There are no Iowa houses, unfortunately, in the exhibition, but the museum did organize a trip to Cedar Rock a couple of weekends ago, because that is such a great example of Wright's work.
So as you were pouring through these and looking over them, what leapt out at you besides, like you said, the design aesthetic that we all know about, the long, low, the angles and things like that? Did anything pop out at you that you hadn't noticed before?
The lithographs are really beautiful, and one thing, I've been a Wright aficionado for many years. My parents brought me up with a deep appreciation of architecture. But one thing I noticed when I was looking at these lithographs specifically is how profoundly he likes to orient his houses to the environment around them. Of course, using both natural materials, which we always hear about with Wright architecture, but even in these drawings, and there are floor plans and perspectives and all sorts of different architectural drawings, he always includes the surrounding landscape. And a lot of these commissions that he got early in his career were for heavily treed lots. And so he always really includes a lot of nature in these lithographs, which I think is really interesting. And even when he does interiors, he always includes a lot of potted plants and, of course, long row windows where you can see the trees outside. So it was that integration of nature that I found really exciting about these lithographs.
Well, and speaking of nature, that is the theme of your other fall
Such a
exhibition.
good segue, yes. Our other temporary exhibition this fall is Into the Woods, the Forest as Artistic Inspiration. And that was on purpose, paired with Wright, because they both have this idea of nature inspiring the artist, and in Wright's case, of course, the architect. Into the Woods is in our 3 large galleries downstairs, and it deals with 3D pieces, 2D pieces, wood art, children's book illustration, all looking at how the forest has inspired artists. I think the earliest piece in that exhibition is from 1633, and of course it goes up through contemporary artists working today.
What's the highlight of that exhibition for you? What's when you were hanging them, and what struck you as particularly fun and interesting?
Oh gosh, it's like trying to choose a favorite child.
Yeah, I know.
It's a really fun exhibition. It's the first time that, since I've been at the CRMA, that I've combined 2D and 3D pieces in the same space. So that was really fun. We have a couple of really large wood sculptures that just recently came into the collection, so it was a nice opportunity to get those out. We have a really beautiful William Lazansky that we just acquired, and so that came up. Other than that, it was such a fun exhibition for me, because it was just me going through the collection and finding all these amazing, quirky things that work with this theme. We also have the children's book illustration collection that's on loan to us from the Cedar Rapids Public Library through the Zerzanik collection. And we have a little small gallery off of the 2 main galleries that focuses on the woods in children's literature. which of course, you can trace through fairy tales and has a very, very long history. So that was really fun for me to go through. We have about 1,200 children's book illustrations and find all these beautiful, princesses going off into the woods or beavers building their dams, all of these different ways that authors and illustrators have used the woods in that literature series.
Talking with Kate from the Cedar Rapids Museum of Art about ongoing exhibitions, and then you guys have a big party coming up next week too, I believe.
Yeah, November 4th is our gala, which is our one fundraiser of the year, so we're very excited about it.
I don't want to spoil things too much, but besides food and drink, anything fun planned?
Oh gosh, yeah, we're doing a live auction of artwork and other fancy things, and a silent auction. I've been working to get the artworks together for the silent auction, which has been amazing. There's so many talented artists in the area that have donated pieces, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, it's at the Cedar Rapids Country Club, so it should be a really good time, and I'm looking forward to it. I've got my dress and hair all picked out and everything.
Okay, well, that's coming up on the 4th, and the fall exhibitions go through when?
The end of the year. Frank Lloyd Wright ends on the 31st, and Into the Woods goes through about mid-January.
And remind me of the fall and winter hours in the museum.
We are noon to 4 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Thursdays are our late nights, so we're open from noon to 8. And then on Saturdays, we open at 10, so we're 10 to 4.
And if people want more information on any of this, they can go to the website, which is
www.crma.org.
Okay, Kunau from the Cedar Rapids Museum of Art. Thanks for coming in, and we'll look forward to, after the first of the year, to seeing what you've got planned for 2017.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure.